Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, Lasuth, started as a cottage hospital and evolved into a tertiary institution in 2001. Ever since, the Lagos State government, alongside successive leadership of the hospital, have significantly contributed to building a reputable health institution in Nigeria and sub-Saharan Africa. More significantly, the leadership of Professor Adetokunbo O. Fabanwo has blazed the trail in the area of infrastructural development. More state-of-the-art medical infrastructures have been built to ease the burden on the existing one. Efforts to turn Lasuth into a mega city hospital are not solely shouldered by the government, as private individuals and philanthropists are coming forward to help build a fast-growing state teaching hospital in Nigeria. A testimony to this is the donation of the Lasuth Holding Bay by Honorable Idowu Obasa. The Chief Medical Director sheds more light on this.
He actually donated a holding bay to the hospital, and the estimated cost of that holding bay is about 60 million naira as we speak. At that time, the holding bay that we had in Lasuth was the only one in the whole of the Federation, and it served the purpose of holding suspected COVID cases side by side with even cases that were probably positive. And this was because the way we designed the holding bay was an individualized cubicle kind of arrangement, which made sure that there wasn't likely to be any cross-infection, even if we put COVID positive and non-COVID positive cases together in the same bay.
Honorable Idowu Obasa has also provided a lithotripsy machine, which, according to the Professor Fabanwo, has once again placed Lasuth as the only public hospital in Nigeria to own the equipment. Speaking on the capabilities of the machine and what that means to Lasuth, Professor Fabanwo explains.
This time around, Honorable Obasa has pleasantly come to our rescue again, and his interface with this lithotripsy machine request was quite fortuitous, because he happened to be with us when Professor Ikuru, the head of the urology unit, came to lament that the machine that we were renting to use to do cases like this had broken down, and that we would need to replace and get our own machine. And the Honorable just asked that what was the cost of the machine, that and we told him what we thought was the cost, and he pledged to buy it for us. We thought it was a joke, but the truth of the matter is that he has bought it for us. The machine was imported, it has been delivered, and it has been put to use. So the board of management and the entire management, the staff of Lasuth, and even the potential patients that will benefit from the use of this machine, are very, very grateful to the Honorable for this wonderful gesture. I'd like to talk about the machine. We are the only public hospital in the whole of Nigeria that will have this kind of machine. And the advantage of using this kind of machine is that we avoid surgical operations on patients who need to have stones removed, either from the kidney or from the gallbladder or even from the urinary bladder. So this machine can be used to dissolve the stones and break them down, and then it will just be passed out normally from the body. It avoids patients, or it prevents patients from spending so much time in the hospital. The cost of medications, expensive antibiotics is reduced. The manpower cost, personnel cost required to manage these patients for a week or so, if they've had open surgery, is removed. So the machine is of a tremendous advantage, and patients would actually benefit a lot from having the machine used to treat their conditions.
Corroborating the CMD, consultant urologists in the hospital also speak.
In general, stone disease is a big burden in the community, especially being in the tropics. There's a lot of heat. Okay, the number one cause for kidney stones is dehydration. So prior to now, what we've had to do when we see kidney stones is address it the only way we could, which was to open up the patient. Okay. The problem with that is that you have wounds that now have to heal. The patients stay in the hospital multiple days before they are fit for discharge. The advantage of having endoscopy, for example, and a laser, is that you can now approach those same stones through natural orifices. Going through the urinary, the urethra, the tube you pee from, you can go into the tube, find the stone, and then use the laser energy to break the stone into powder and get the pieces out. Usually patients only stay in the hospital overnight after such procedures. They can go home and their problems are solved. That's the advantage of having something like this. And it's going to make a big difference to the care of patients with kidney stones. Patients prior to now, for example, patients with kidney stones, not just stones in the tube, in the ureter, would have to have surgery where you sometimes have to open up the entire kidney, which is a very bloody organ, okay? Now, you don't have to do that. You can go in and find the stones and deal with them where they are.
The board and management of Lasuth cannot but immensely appreciate Honorable Obasa for his magnanimity and for coming to the aid of the hospital at such a time like this.
So we use this opportunity to thank Honorable Obasa for this generous donation to the urology unit of Lasuth, and also to the management of Lagos State University Teaching Hospital for making this to happen. We are very grateful for that, and it's going to serve the people of Lagos very well. Of course, we look forward to other donors also joining hands to improve the health of Lagosian. There are several other things that will still be done. So we are grateful to Honorable Obasa. Thank you very much.
It's very excited with the acquisition of our new lithotripsy machine. And I must place on records our deep appreciation to our donor, Honorable Obasa, for the very kind and wonderful gesture.
A big round of applause for Honorable Sholale Obasa for this big donation to Lasuth. A lot of patients who present with kidney stone will now have a non-invasive treatment, and it will surely come at highly reduced price because of the fact that he has donated this equipment, and that will complement government effort. We have the manpower, we have the structure on ground, and now that he has donated this equipment, the pricing will surely go down. And I think this is the way to go. Many people will have to collaborate with government in making sure that the team agenda of our governor is achieved. He has put in so much, and I believe that with effort like this, we definitely will surpass 100%.
To show appreciation to Honorable Obasa, who has donated this multi-million naira lithotripsy machine to Lasuth. I'd like to congratulate the urology unit headed by Professor Ikorowo and also Dr. Deji Shehu Akinola, Dr. Professor Misonjo, and Dr. Abimbola Abolariwa, who are all the consultants in the urology unit for the acquisition of this machine. We are very proud that we have it. We are very proud that we are the only hospital, public hospital in the whole of Nigeria that has it. And we are very grateful to, first, to the chairman and members of our governing board for driving us in the right direction towards achieving all these feats that we achieve. I'd like to commend in particular Dr. Richard Ajayi, the chairman of our board, as well as other members of the board. I also like to thank the Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Bayomi, who heads our supervisory ministry. I'd like to thank him for the laudable role that he has played in ensuring that Lasuth achieves its full potential. In the same regard, I'd like to thank the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Dr. Shegun Boye. He is the anchor person in the ministry. We relate with him intimately, and we thank them for the role they play in ensuring. Finally, a big thank you to Mr. Governor, Mr. Baba Jide Olushola Sanwo-Olu. Mr. Governor had always pledged to make Lasuth a reference point, and he has matched his words with the gestures that he has shown to us. We've never had any funding issue. He had provided the funding that we need to keep this hospital running smoothly. We are eternally grateful to Mr. Governor and to the entire management of Lasuth that we meet week by week regularly to plan the activities of the hospital. I thank them. To my indefatigable Director of Clinical Services, Professor Adebowale Adekoya, who anchors most of these things that happen. I want to thank him, and I want to pledge that we will continue in this hospital to make giant strides so as to make us the preferred destination for advanced healthcare